Hi, this is Kelsey from Bluesky Feed Creator. This video is not a tutorial. I just wanted to highlight a fantastic new feature that we have released. When you are creating your feed, it can be challenging to figure out whether a post will go into the feed that you want to go into the feed or not. And so we have been testing this manually up until now, and we have built a handy tool to let you do it. So I've just clicked from my main feed page next to each of the boxes under capturing posts. We've got this test your terms link, and it will open in a new tab, so you won't lose any progress. And it's opening with the terms in the box. So I can now add more terms, or I can use this box here to craft a dummy post to see if it will match the terms of my daffodil testing feed. So if I say, for instance, I have a new daffodil in the garden. No such luck. Nothing has turned into a green tick. That's what we're looking for in the grey box. But if I change it to say, because I have daffodils in my capturing terms, I have daffodils in the garden, and there we go. We have got a green tick. Now, if I used hashtag daffodils instead, then it's going to come up to the top. So it was down at the bottom prior to this. So at the moment, jonquil bulbs is down there. So if I say planted some jonquil bulbs today, it's sprung up to the top there to tell me that yes, there is a tick term in this post. Therefore, if this post was posted by someone right now, it would come into the daffodil testing feed. And I can change the terms in here as well. So see, I've got this blue button, save include terms back to daffodil testing feed. I can add new terms in here, though now I'm struggling to think of a daffodil relevant one. So let's make it a daffodil and tulips feed, just temporarily for the purposes of this demonstration. And you can see I've added tulips up here. It's already popped up down here. So I could clear these terms entirely and set them so that they would go into the grey box, and then I can test posts against them if I wanted to start again from scratch. So I've put tulips in there, tulips isn't here. I can test a post like, I don't know, I've been growing some tulips, and tulips will spring up to the top like so and show us the green tick. So that's happy days. Where this becomes really helpful, I think, is with wildcards. So imagine that I wanted to look at, see, tulips is it's a bad example. There's no suffixes really that get applied to tulips, but let's try garden star. Garden star, because I'm using a wild card, it's going to give me everything like gardens, gardener, gardening. I've been gardening. And there we go. It actually popped up as soon as I had this because it already applied. And then what if, let's clear all this up here and just play around with wildcards. Also, just note when you add something, you can save it back into the daffodil testing feed, back into the feed that you came to this page from. It will say it on the button. But let's play around with wildcards, for instance. Maybe I'm interested in daffodils in Europe. So I could say daffodils, star, and I've got a space either side of the star, and that means that there could be any number of words. Obviously, it still has to fit within the post character limit, but there could be any number of words in between daffodils in Europe. So if I said daffodils in Europe, happy days, that's going to meet the requirements. But I could also say I saw some fantastic daffodils when I traveled to Europe in the spring. And there we go. It has picked those up. Now, what this won't do, it won't work backwards. And so if you ever do use wildcards like this with the spaces, what you want to do is put the reverse of it in here as well. And so then posts such as I went to Europe last spring and there were so many amazing daffodils in bloom. And as you can see, that has popped up to the top and it's given me the green tick saying that this dummy post that I have composed would meet the requirements if I put daffodils star Europe and Europe star daffodils into my feed terms. You can also do a double wildcard situation. So say you want to gather posts about gardens, gardening, gardeners, etc. in New Zealand, then I could use a term like this. And again, I'm going to reverse it. We have got these two terms, they are the reversals of each other, but they're separate terms. So New Zealand, that functions as a phrase. I don't need to do anything specific with that, like speech marks. They have to happen in the same order with a space in between. And then I've got this star, which basically means because there's a space either side of it, there could be any number of words, there could be spaces between the words, punctuation, whatever. It's not going to matter as long as after that string of words, letters, punctuation, emojis, whatever, there is a word that starts with garden in it. So here is one term, and here is the other term, which is a reversal of that one. So if I said on my travels to New Zealand, I saw some amazing gardens, I can see because I've got the green tick that that has triggered the New Zealand star garden star term. So that works quite well. Now, say I was being enthusiastic about the Black Ferns, who are New Zealand's women's rugby team. So, of course, I can say Black Ferns, happy days. So, watching the Black Ferns play, that has triggered the inclusion for this post. But what if I was a fan who liked to string out my letters and write over enthusiastic, like go Black Ferns, for example, then this will work, but so will, so will that. And I can add extra bits and pieces in here as much as I want. So if you were running a sports feed, for instance, and this was a common mode of team support that showed up, you could use stars in between all of your letters to get that. There's lots of interesting things that you can do with wildcards, and I'm sure I won't be able to think of any more of them in this video. But I think you get the idea that this is a really powerful tool. You don't have to actually be posting in real time onto Bluesky to be testing your terms. You'll be able to find out inside Bluesky Feed Creator without even going to Bluesky whether they will work. I'm not going to click Save Include Terms back to Daffodil Testing Feed because this has gone a bit sideways. But just as a reminder, I'm back in my main feed dashboard here. And if I scroll down to capturing posts, that's where I'm going to find test your terms. I really look forward to hearing about how you find this tool, if it's helpful for you, if there's any specific things you've noticed that it's really handy for. Do let us know. You can contact us on Bluesky. We are blueskyfeedcreator.com. And I will link that in the description box down below, along with our tutorial about how to make a feed using our service. Thanks for watching.